Do you want to get your business in front of over 100,000 viewers every month? Advertise with 321 and enjoy the best value in local advertising while supporting free community live streams. Your message will be seen across live high school sports, morning shows, and local events, connecting you directly with engaged audiences, boosting your visibility, growing your brand, and helping us keep these broadcasts accessible to everyone for free. Partner with 321 today and watch your business thrive.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Open Mic. I'm Ken. That's Dan. Let me see. That's Bill. Also, we have Lou is missing this morning. Missing in action. Lou, hope you're feeling better. He made a call the other night and said he was a little bit under the weather, so we figured he better not make it today. And Ben will be with us this morning. So, Ben, you have some big shoes to fill, taking up a little space there for Lewis.
Big shoes to fill.
Big shoes to fill. No, really, there's a couple of sayings. I should have got them to you ahead of time. I'm not coming. I'm not going.
Don't bother me.
Stuff like that is basically lose them all. But anyhow, we got a lot of things going on. We'll get to high school sports in the second half. 9 o'clock, we have Coach Rosario from the Bulldogs are going to be on with us, and we'll talk about. He hasn't played yet since the tournament, has he?
I don't believe.
I think he's.
No.
Yeah, I think he's been off since the tournament.
I know their freshman team last night got a win at Barrington, 54-41. I just saw that this morning, but varsity and JV, no, I don't think they played.
We'll get caught up with all of that stuff in the 9 o'clock hour. In the meantime, we have a lot of games going on today in the National Football League. I don't watch college football too much, but I watched a game the other day, that double overtime one. That was exciting. That was great.
Well, that was a game that if you were watching from the beginning, you would have said this game's over. You know, the first 5 plays, 6 plays. It was a punt return for a touchdown, 2-play drive for a touchdown, and it looked like the game was over. And Arizona State just kept on coming back. It was a great game.
Yeah, and I
especially if you bet it.
If you what?
If you bet it.
Well, that would indicate to me then that, and you're smiling.
Might have had a little stake in it.
Yeah, when you said, especially if you're betting, I would assume that you had a little stake in it then, as Dan says. Guilty or not guilty?
Well, guilty.
Okay, I knew the answer anyhow. So you might.
I thought he was going to plead the fifth.
Yeah, that's what he usually does.
I went up to that place.
That big building. Yeah, and you now, how would you? You said great, so how would you win on that? Well, see, I've never bet on a football.
The spread, it was 13.5. They were getting 13.5 points.
Arizona State?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty good then.
Didn't look good in the beginning.
It doesn't matter. It's the end that counts.
The end that counts.
You know that.
But that kid from Arizona State, the running back, he was probably like a 5th or 6th round draft choice going into the NCAA playoffs, and he's got to be in the first round now.
Has to be.
The kid was unbelievable. Did everything. He threw the ball for a touchdown. He ran hard, ran through people. I think he was selling popcorn at halftime. I mean, he did everything.
Yeah, and he left it all out there, too. He was on the sidelines, like, constantly have to get fluids back into him. He was cramping up, but nothing would allow him to not be on the field with his teammates. He had like 200-something total yards. In that 40-yard touchdown pass, it wasn't just one of those where like he threw it to somebody and, yards after the catch. He threw it legit 30 yards downfield, and then the rest of the 10 yards were, the running in for a touchdown. And he just runs with so much aggression.
And that was one thing he played in the game. It's not like you look at all these guys that backed out of the game. Well, I'm going to the NFL draft, or I'm going to the portal, and I'm going to be playing with someone else next year. You give a commitment to play. You play the whole season, and this was this kid did. You know, he got there, and you know he played his best. I personally, I think if you're one of those guys that, well, I'm going to sit out because of the draft, or I'm going to sit out because I'm going to the portal, you should give back everything that school gave you to be eligible to play in that game. You know, if you're on scholarship, give your scholarship back. If you had NIL money, you give that back, because everything, you're self-centered. Guys relied on you all year, and all of a sudden you're going to back out of the game. To me, that's not right.
Yeah, but how can they do that though?
Just make the rule. Now, like NCAA, there's 2 portals. There's one beginning of December, and then there's one in January or February. Make one portal. And some of these guys, 6-year players, 5th-year players, you know, they've been playing forever. I just, NCAA's got to do something.
That's another one of the powers to be.
Yes.
Powers to be.
And I got a message last night from someone. A good friend of ours.
I got a few messages this week about powers to be.
But you know, the NCAA's got to do something. And we did have some great bowl games. Even the off bowls that, you know, weren't playoff games. There was some great football.
Oh yeah, well,
definitely.
You're going to see some good football games. They're out there to play and win, so why not? And Notre Dame won too, right?
Yep. And now, you know, all these teams, you know, they didn't really want Notre Dame to get in this situation, because you make the semifinals, you guaranteed $14 million for your conference. Well, Notre Dame doesn't play in a conference. All these conferences, every team will get almost $1 million. Notre Dame, they get it all, and I'm kind of happy for them, because, you know, they're staying independent. They have no one ruling them, and
so they don't have the powers to be.
They don't have the power. Well, the NCAA still oversees everything, but they don't have to worry about the SEC, the ACC. They're a very good football team, and I really not a big fan of their coach, but what he did during this game the other night, it was unbelievable. He out-coached Georgia.
Good move, man.
Hey, thanks.
That was really smooth.
No one else saw what was happening. I was getting a microphone out of Ken's shot.
Yeah, no, you have to give credit to the Notre Dame coach, Marcus Freeman. And I remember seeing a video when he first took over on Instagram, and Brian Kelly was, you know, telling the team about the transition, and Marcus Freeman walked into the locker room, and the reaction from the guys was something like I've never seen before. So just that, you know as a coach that you have that support from the players going in, obviously helps you as a coach, and it's led to really big things for the Notre Dame football program.
And also what he did with the sad situation in New Orleans. He rallied his team to together, and, you know, didn't think about the game per se. He had all their thoughts and prayers out for everyone that got hurt or unfortunately, you know, passed away in this. And, you know, that's something you can't teach.
No.
The guy he did it on his own. You know, you're ramped up. You're playing in this game where it means going to a national championship. Usually you get wrapped up, but he let the events that happen supersede the game, and I got to give him a lot of credit.
Oh yeah, well that's good. That's what you should do.
Yep.
Well, that was tragic. You've been on that street, haven't you?
Plenty of times.
Yeah. And
Right
how
around
did
that
that?
corner.
Yeah, how did that happen? That he could. The sidewalks don't look that big there. I mean,
They're really not, but usually they have more barricades, and it was just a soft spot because there was only one police cruiser
Mhm.
blocking the road, which is it's a good sized road, and it just an unfortunate, if you were on the street at that time, it's just sad. And
in the wrong place at the wrong.
yep,
Well, all right. So that's a little college football. We have professional games going on. This is the last weekend of the regular season. So there's some games that I would think they mean a lot to who's going to be where in the playoffs and the wild card weekend next week.
yeah, I think the big thing it would be the Denver game because I guess Denver wins, they're in, and it doesn't make a difference what some of the other teams do. But today you've got the Ravens taking on the Browns in Baltimore. That's really the Ravens have to win it to get the division title.
But that means something.
They're a 20-point favorite, and the Browns just have not played well.
That's why you got to play the game,
Yeah.
Bill.
And then the night game is the Bengals at the Steelers. Steelers need not just
Big game for both of those teams.
but not just they need this game to have a shot at the division title. They need to play well because they haven't played well in the last couple of weeks. They're turning the ball over too much. Their defense has been a little soft. Just some things haven't been happening well for them. And the Bengals has a great offense. So, the Steeler defense is going to have to be on top of their game because Burrows, I don't think anything bothers him. Burrows, he just leads his team down the field, and it's like he's just telling them, let's have fun. And that they're having fun on offense. They can't play defense. And I felt sorry for their kicker last week. Had a shot to win the game, and nope, bing.
Yep.
How many times do we see that over the last week?
Yeah, you can really hear it too.
Yeah.
You can on the broadcast. Yeah.
Yeah, they got their mic right in there. Right
I
in
guess
there.
they do. There's no doubt about it. So your Steelers,
But yeah, like you said, it is important for them to try to get a win this week to head into the playoffs with some good momentum. On the Bengals side, you got to win, and you need a little bit of help. You need the Broncos to lose, and then you need also the Dolphins to lose to try to secure that last playoff spot, which is completely possible.
The Dolphins and the Colts.
And the Colts, that's right.
And Steelers are playing at home. Better record, beat the Bengals already this year, and they're getting 2.5 points.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the difference is the Cincinnati defense. I just don't think they're going to be able to, sustain the Pittsburgh offense because Pittsburgh has had to go on against some of the best defenses in the league the last 3 games.
Now,
So it should be a little bit easier for them this week.
now
now you said Pittsburgh is getting
2.5.
They getting 2.5 points.
Usually 3 points for a home team, but given, not getting.
And just talking for a minute about them, and like I said, I never bet a football game, but
You bet other things.
yeah, but not football
Right.
or baseball or basketball for that matter. But it's amazing to me how close those guys that set those odds are.
Oh,
it's
it's
amazing. It is. It really is. Now you're saying usually the home team gets 3 points, so
usually
Pittsburgh should be favored in this game.
Well,
Or
yeah,
close to it, or an even game. Now they're going to give Pittsburgh 2.5 points.
Yeah.
So we'll watch and see how that game comes out. But it just amazes me to see how close those guys can come.
Oh, that's like the talking about the Arizona State Texas game. The under over was you looked at it at halftime. You're not going to come near it. They wound up doing it in overtime. So how many people were praying, please go to overtime. Don't let him kick a field goal, please.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is, and how they have all these computers to figure this stuff out. Sometimes you gotta. I got some friends that conspiracy theorists, and they said no, it's not the computers.
So there are some games this weekend that's going to make a difference, and that's good for the NFL coming down to the last week.
Another one that's a huge one is Lions Vikings.
Oh, that
tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow night.
First time, this late into the season where two teams with 14 wins have met in the regular season. Part of that's due to the extra game. And the first time, with those two teams that they're fighting for a division title, and the winner gets a 1 seed, and the loser unfortunately has to go on the road. Can you believe that for their playoff game?
Wow.
But just the luck of the draw, they got in a really good division. So that is a huge matchup.
And what's the spread on that game? Do you have that handy?
Yes.
So that must be that's got to be pretty close to being a toss-up, isn't it? Where they playing that game?
Spread is 3. Detroit.
Yeah, at Detroit.
That's why. So there's your theory. Home team. Yeah, so that's an even game. They're going to give them 3 because they're home team.
Now, I didn't think about this earlier, but now I know why Lou's not here.
Why?
His Giants did something last week
that they shouldn't have done.
That
They
shouldn't
won.
have done. The Giants winning last week.
Yeah.
They lost their number 1 pick probability to who? To the New England Patriots. He would be
The
saying
last team he would want to.
the dust is up north.
I told you about
This time it's
that.
not in Boston, it's in Foxborough.
Now they've even given it to the Patriots. See, the Patriots didn't need it for a while. Now we got to spread it around a little bit.
We'll take anything we can get.
Yeah, a little 2-year absences. Now it's back. So-
He would be screaming right now, you guys.
Well,
I'm not a Patriots fan.
but the thing about it is though that they can't say that the Giants went in the tank to get that. No, they won. They played. They played the game like it should be played.
Yeah.
I mean, that quarterback for the New York Giants, Drew Lock, he's bounced around in the league for a while, and he's still trying to fight to stay in the league. A lot of those players that are getting the opportunity now, people don't understand. They're fighting to stay in the league and possibly get their own contract. So he's trying to play, and the rest of the team is trying to play as hard as they can.
And the guy they're supposedly looking at to be the next quarterback for the Giants, Deion's son. I just can't see him in a, number one in a Giants uniform because of his father. But I just
Throw me the money.
yeah. But it's I don't think he's going to have the complementary players around him that he had in college, because he had some great receivers too. And right now the Giants,
they really only got one right now in Neighbors.
Yeah.
They would have to do some work in the offseason. But Malik Neighbors is in my opinion, one of the top 10 wide receivers in the league right now. So at least you have that to build around. And who knows, maybe a young guy develops and maybe you're able to make a trade or two to bring some other guys in.
but then they have to work on their defense too.
That's the other thing.
They could work around and get putting some guys around this kid. That's what they're going to have to do.
And he's going to want, even though technically there's money brackets for 1 through 5 and 5 through 10 and everything. I don't think he's the best quarterback coming into the draft this year.
I think it's Cam Ward.
He is one of the best.
He's one of them.
Yes. And there's another guy, played until he got the record, and then I'm done during that bowl game. Wait a minute. Suit up, play the whole game.
Who the Patriots going to go after? Where are they going to go?
Patriots got to go after offensive linemen to protect.
So they're committed to this kid.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think he's been playing pretty well.
What else are you gonna do at this point?
And I can't see them, going year after year after year going for number one draft is your quarterback. You got to get someone in there, keep him there, but you got to protect him. I think even if Jones was still there, if they had got guys to protect him, the guy's running for his life. I don't know if I would have put him back in the game last week after he comes out of the game for a possible concussion.
Yeah.
Your season, it doesn't make a difference if you win or lose this game. He is going to be your franchise quarterback. Let's make sure he's all right, because he already had one concussion this year. You don't want to have multiple concussions, every year. You got to take care of the guy. One way to take care of him, get some offensive linemen in front of him. There's some good offensive linemen, I think, going to be in the draft.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that he went back in that game last week. He got hit pretty good too.
Oh,
Well, on that play, I thought he could have played a little bit safer though himself.
Yeah,
I
he
think
should
he
have.
should have, went out of bounds well before that, and he would have avoided that hit altogether. And that's something that the coaching staff has to continue to preach to him.
Yeah, you're better off stepping out, surviving, so we can play another play with you than without you.
Better off for your body too, as he found out. Well, we'll see what happens with the Patriots. How about the coach? Was Kraft a little testy with he wants to?
Lately,
he looks like an impatient person too.
Lately, I've noticed that Kraft is getting more like someone else.
Yeah,
with the Cowboys.
The guy in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I mean.
Granted, you're the guy that
and
owns.
Then tag along too, Jonathan. Don't forget it.
You're the guy that owns it, and it's your money out there and everything. But you hired people to run your. You're going to do that as a CEO, micromanage everything. Usually, stuff like that happens. It falls apart.
Yeah, don't forget he had a coach that was not going to allow that to happen for a long time.
Well,
so we really don't know how Kraft is, because Belichick was there so long, and so was Brady. And look at the success they had. So how can you really?
Well, yeah, and they together they almost saw success almost immediately when they that partnership formed.
So we may be seeing the true Robert Kraft now.
Yeah, well, that and Rabel's still out there, and he wants to be a head coach, and I think he would have been the perfect fit.
Who?
Mike Rabel.
Oh, Rabel. I'm surprised they didn't go with him.
Well, because it had been said when Bill was going to be done that Mayo was going to be the guy to lead him after that, because he was grooming him. I don't think there are guys that can be great assistants, but can they be a head coach? And this might be one of those situations. He was a great assistant coach, but managing everything and having trust in your coordinators, that's another issue.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game in any sport when you're the head coach as in compared to assistant coach. But because specifically in football, right, he's only working with probably the linebackers, most of the people on defense. Whereas if you're the head coach, you got to deal with everybody.
Yeah, you're in every meeting. You're watching over everything, and that's why in a lot of these programs, the head coach does not act as a coordinator too. The only guy that really did it, well, two people that did it and had good success, were Parcells and Belichick. But even Parcells stepped back a little and let his guys do what they had to do. I think there should be a change.
A lot of these coaches now are calling the plays, though. I've seen a lot of them in the last couple of weeks.
But
I mean, calling the plays.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can be calling the plays, but you also have your offensive coordinator that sets up. Some coaches let their offensive coordinator run everything during the week, and then they make the calls, the play calling. That's a little different.
Say that again.
You have an offensive coordinator during the week. He sets up the game plan. He runs the practices for the offensive side. Come game day, the head coach makes the offense.
In other words, he's got a chart, and he then can make it any way he wants it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. He's actually calling the play.
Yeah. There's the Kansas City.
Yeah, he calls them.
He calls the plays, but he doesn't run everything during the week. His offensive coordinator runs basically the offense.
Yeah. Well, but when you got to make those decisions and send those plays in,
Yeah.
I
Because-
just noticed a lot of the
Yeah.
head coaches are calling the plays. That's all.
And certain ones do it on defensive as well if they're a little bit, better on the defensive side.
You call the plays, the other team?
Yes.
Do you have an offensive coordinator during the week?
No. Me.
It is.
So you're
It
both.
is Coach Samaggio.
So you have to argue with yourself. Then.
Yes. And sometimes that's but defensively,
So if I go up to you and say, Bill, I think you should run this other play, would you listen?
to you or someone else. I told you, I gave you one call.
No, you didn't.
You didn't come over and give me the play.
No, it didn't work the way it was supposed to. You were supposed to tell me to play the first play of the game, and you didn't. So don't try to get out of it now. Simple as that.
I remember one game that
Uh-oh.
I told my assistant, excuse me. I told the reporter that was on the sideline, we got an onside kick, but don't tell your father.
I'd like to be right next to you for one game. Has to be the right situation, though. It has to be about 70 degrees. Nice day.
No matter what the weather is, though, he's going to have shorts on the sideline.
Yeah, I know. I know that.
Let's do it. Let's do it next year. First game of the year. You can be on the sideline next to him with the microphone.
Oh,
No, you can't put the microphone near
Thank you, Ben.
I've been on that sideline. You can't put the microphone near.
Sadly, we're close enough to the sideline. We had to edit some stuff.
No, you don't have to. I don't say those kind of
No,
words.
Not you.
Oh, none of my
Not in his
team.
program either.
No. But there's maybe it was soccer. We're so close to the sideline at that field that there was
You can pick up.
yeah. Especially Cheraho versus Westerly soccer. Luzzy and Williams were they were going at it for a while. Very friendly, like they fight like brothers because they know each other so well. But that was funny.
See that's the other thing in soccer and in lacrosse. The sideline has got both teams on it.
Yeah.
At least with us, you're on the other side.
Definitely.
I think that's a great idea, Ben, and we'll look forward to doing that come September or so. Oh, we have to take a break. It's 8:30 because we gotta let the people know who's paying for these
We do.
antics.
We do have to let people know that.
Yeah, we do. That's very important.
So I 1 second, we're uploading something right now. It's just some little cover photos for the people that don't have actual commercials yet. So tell me a little bit about Hilltop Cafe, Ken.
Hilltop Cafe, sausage and potatoes. I've got them a couple times down there, and I want to tell you, the order that you get, I can't eat them all. I mean, and talk about delicious, those potatoes. I don't know how he does it, but Dave does a great job down there.
Dave,
That's what I've had, and
Dave has his mother and his grandmother's recipes, and for me, I think he's got the best pizza in town, and you can get soupy pizza.
there you go.
But he's got a great crew working for him. You know, the waitresses and the bartenders, they're at your beck and call all the time. He has fresh seafood. That special board is always changing, and it's great hometown homey food.
That special board is like that door there that Ben's got to lead
Huge.
into this room. Dave's a great guy, he really is, and we're going to be seeing him during the season too. And when we get near that big game they play, the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, yeah. We're excited about that. We'll have more details to come as
Yep.
the playoffs progress.
There you go.
And then an old favorite, Toscano's Men's Shop.
Paulie basically tells it all when we're there, and with Paulie, he's been there a long time, obviously, and does a great job. Everybody knows him, and if you don't get insulted when you go into the store, then that means there's something wrong with him.
Wait a second, I didn't get insulted last time. I
Wow.
was
He
there.
didn't know you then.
Yeah.
Wait till he gets to know you, Ben. Believe me.
Not only do you get a suit, pants, a shirt, or whatever, you get a comedy show,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and that's free. He doesn't charge you for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. No doubt about it. You never know with Paulie. But yes, once you get to know him, make a couple trips in there and you'll find out what we're talking about. But great guy, been a sponsor for a long time, and glad to have him aboard.
And another great Westerly institution, Pat's Auto Center, 17 Ledward Ave.
Can't say enough about my friend Pat Doherty. Anytime I need something done on my car, that's where it goes, to Pat's, and he certainly has a few of them up there. He had one. Remember the Ford Thunderbird?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they love that car. It was there more. Pat had it more than me, but it just kept breaking. But one thing about Pat, if there's anything wrong with your car, he'll tell you. He's not going to try to give you anything that you don't need, and he'll always contact you ahead of time saying, "Ken, look, we got to do this, but we can wait a while. It's not that serious right now." Pat's a very honest guy, and take your car up there, check it out.
And
Absolutely.
if it comes towards sports, Pat will try to do anything.
Absolutely.
I coached high school baseball with Pat. Pat was a high school basketball coach, and we had summer leagues that he sponsored, and he got involved. And tell you what, Pat Doherty was a great pitching coach too. He was our pitching coach, and he did a great job.
But whatever Pat does,
he goes all out.
He goes all out. There's no question about it. And I just had a lovely conversation with Pat this past week. It was very, very good.
And then, if you sometimes your car is such a mess when you take it to Pat's, like it was for my girlfriend. We had taken it there so many times that finally, being the great guy that he is,
He'll clean
Pat just said, no. Pat just said, no. Like internally, it was a mess. Someone that had her car beforehand poured that like fix a leak stuff that you shouldn't pour into the car, and they were like, "We can fix this, but it's a mess. No one should have done your engine's cement." So eventually, we had to go get a new car. And if you're in the market for a new car, Ken, where should you go?
Go see my buddy Filippo. I told you the story last week about Filippo, but I've been with him for quite a while, wherever he may end up, and he's at Wayland City Mazda and Ford, I guess, and they got a big selection of pre-owned cars over there, and just a great guy. He's got a son playing basketball, also a daughter. Both of them, I think, are playing
Yes.
high school
Well, two
sports and
daughters.
basketball.
One's playing on the JV team at Westerly for the girls, and then one's a sixth grader on the Westerly girls middle school team as well.
And if you need anything, you just call up Filippo and just go over there, and they see the fine sales staff that he has over at. It's right in the middle of New London. Everybody knows where that is.
Yeah.
That's at Four Corners, Coleman.
Street.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
and shout out to his daughter Luciana. She was the MVP of the JV tournament
Oh,
on the
great.
girls'
Nice.
side. So very huge congratulations to her.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And we also want to thank Woodmansee Insurance. And we don't need to say anything about them because they have a video that we're going to play right now. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodmansee Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodmansee Insurance. Come put the Woodmansee Insurance team to work for you.
Do you want to get your business in front of over 100,000 viewers every month? Advertise with 321 and enjoy the best value in local advertising while supporting free community live streams. Your message will be seen across live high school sports, morning shows, and local events, connecting you directly with engaged audiences, boosting your visibility, growing your brand, and helping us keep these broadcasts accessible to everyone for free. Partner with 321 today and watch your business thrive. And we are back, Ken.
All right, back on Sports Open Mic. I'm Ken, Dan, and Bill. Ben's with us this morning as usual, and also Lou. We have to mention that Lou is under the weather, so he was not coming today. So Lou, get better.
Yes, feel better, Lou.
Lou.
And hopefully the Patriots win this week, so maybe something can happen for you. Get that draft pick, that number one again.
He's probably still hurting over that.
He's gotta be.
Yeah, just leave him alone.
He always has to do
Yeah,
that to me.
That's exactly what he's saying.
First Soto
Yeah.
leaves. Now this happens.
Speaking of baseball, any new developments?
Well,
I'm kind of anxious to see where Bregman's
I'm
going to end
hearing
up.
more Detroit
Well,
more than
no,
anything right
well,
now.
The story on that lately is it's more of his agent doesn't feel that Detroit will go out and spend the money to really get the team going because they won't give him a long-term contract.
Well, he should have paid more attention to Bregman and not to some of those other big guys. That guy you're talking about. I mean, what? Why would he want to do that? I mean,
Boris is having a lot of problems right now with Alfonso. He's trying to get the Mets to up their ante by trying to bring in this fantasy team that's going after him. He's trying to get people to, well, they're going to give Pete this much money. You got to up your. Really, right now, the only team that would probably sign Alfonso to a long term is the Mets, and they don't want to send. Don't want to sign a 6 or 7 year contract with him. But that's what Boris wants. Now, we saw what happened to some of Boris's players last year. They didn't sign until after the season started. And what happened to those guys? They got hurt. They didn't perform well. This, what are you going to do? A 1 year contract?
well, sometimes, and Boris, obviously, he's got, I don't know how many players he represents, but sometimes it's too many. And aren't you better off sometimes, these guys we'll take Bregman, and better off to go with another agent that can focus on you.
Focus on me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you're representing me. You know what I mean? Not 400 other athletes or whatever he's got going. I think that hurts those guys. It hurts those guys like Bregman.
Obviously, I'm not in that situation, but if I was a player, that's kind of what I would want, right? Someone who has a little bit smaller clientele, but I know is going to do the right things to, fight for me.
Just look at Boris. What was his main thing at the beginning of free agency? Soto. That's all he's concentrating. Well, I've got my assistant doing this, that, and the other. No. I'm paying you to be my agent.
Yeah.
I'm not paying you to go around and shop Soto. I would rather have someone that cares about me and me only.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know a lot of those guys have more multiplayers that they have to deal with, but I think he's
he's
I don't
got
know.
too many.
I mean, he's got too many. Yeah, exactly.
and he's a guy that is stubborn, and good agent's going to do what he does. Come up with these. Well, someone else has been asked. These GMs talk to each other too, and they know if they're being fooled.
But he's a perfect fit for somebody like the Red Sox. You mean to tell me the Red Sox won't give him that money?
What?
Bregman.
Oh, Bregman. I think he would be a perfect fit there too.
I mean, they're talking about. Then again, you read something like, "Well, they're committed to Devers to play third base."
But Bregman also
You play for
already-
the Boston Red Sox. You
Yeah.
play where they want you to play, won't you?
and they've said he would be all right playing second base. He came up as a middle infielder.
But if they want, they Devers is not the best third baseman in the
No.
world.
Bregman's an absolutely better defensive third.
Exactly, and he's a great fit for Fenway. I think.
Yeah, I think the only thing Boston is reluctant to do is a 6 or 7 year contract, which Boris really pushes. If I was Boston, I'll give you a 3-year or a 4-year contract at more money per year to get you.
Just do the deal and don't
Just-
worry about the 5 or
just do
6 years. Yeah, exactly.
What the swoosh said, Nike.
Just
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
and
You get the powers to be up at Fenway and do it. Hey,
Powers.
and move Devers over to first base.
Nah,
Don't you
I-
think he can play first?
I would like to see him become the next Big Poppy. Just make him a DH.
Well, then
Don't
make-
worry about
Yeah, but he
defense.
doesn't want to do that right now. I don't think. It doesn't sound it anyhow.
I think first base would be a good fit for him because he does have good hands over there at
Well-
third base. He just doesn't have necessarily the range, and sometimes his arm accuracy isn't necessarily where it needs to be.
Right.
But I think he would do an excellent job scooping, the balls over there.
But you've put so much into your first baseman now, Casas. Do you really want to sit him,
Make
Yeah,
him the DH.
trade him.
trade him? But
Make him the DH. I think Devers could turn into a better fielding first baseman than Casas.
Casas is tough. He's legit. But
I don't know. He's sort of.
But
But-
he's injury prone too.
Infant-
So as
yeah.
much as you can leave him off the field
but
and just have him hit, maybe.
That's because you like that guy. You've always liked.
yeah, and they already got a DH. They got to get rid of him.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
And the
Don't worry about it.
the
Figure it out.
couple of things that are still shocking me is they're talking about getting more outfielders. Don't they have enough outfielders right now?
Yeah, they got plenty.
They got more than enough.
But they're all left-handed, so they're all left-handed. Get a right-handed first baseman then.
But
Got it right there. You
Casas
just
is
got to make the
left-handed.
transition.
He's not a switch hitter. Your guy. He's left-handed.
Yeah, I know it.
All right then.
But you get the right-handed third baseman.
I still think they should just get Bregman, add Bregman to the team, and then worry about where they're going to play afterwards.
Now, if that falls through, which is extremely possible, knowing Boris, do they go after Arenado from the Cardinals?
If Bregman falls through,
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to be a higher price tag? He probably won't be.
No, he's not a free agent. They're going
Just try to trade for him.
Casas.
But that would be the other thing. What would they be willing to give up to get him? Because Red Sox have shown in the past that sometimes they're not necessarily willing to give up a lot.
Your guy's going to get traded. Sorry, Bill.
He's gone.
It's as simple as that. So get used to it. You're going to have to like him wherever he goes. And he's not going to go to the Yankees, so you have to worry about that. Because he won't trade him to the Yankees. But he's going to go.
Now, speaking of guy that they did trade to the Yankees, he's still a free agent.
Who's that?
the left fielder.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, you want him back?
No,
He's not coming back to Boston.
no, but you don't hear anything about him signing anywhere.
I know. Yeah.
His name is
Well, his problem is he's lazy, and he gets in. He did the same. He did the same thing in New York.
Yep.
He started off okay,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden he starts to. I don't want to run the first base stuff again.
I was surprised that the Dodgers didn't take a look at him.
Well, he was there. That's where he came from.
I know it.
Well, they already know him.
Maybe that's why they got rid of him, because maybe they saw those early signs of.
Yeah, look at Cora. Look at Cora had it out with him how many times, and I'm sure Boone did too.
No, Boone doesn't chastise anyone. That's what Lou told me.
He probably doesn't. I probably wasn't happy. Let's put it that way.
I know. As a baseball coach, I wouldn't have been happy
No,
a couple of
absolutely not.
times.
Ben, you can chip in anytime you want. You got anything that you can add to this intelligent conversation?
I know he's got that Red Sox
about
hat on. I'm sure he
Costas?
wants
Yeah,
to
you got to.
chip in.
Not at all. Not at all.
as
No.
As a Red Sox fan, would you like to have Bregman?
As a Red Sox fan, I would like to have Pedro Martinez back.
Pedro is not walking through that door. Right?
That's where I'm at with.
I think what the Red Sox should do is make a trade with San
Pedro could probably get some people out right
He
now.
probably could.
Oh,
Yeah.
Definitely. Still could throw a little bit.
Cease is being bantered about of San Diego getting rid of him, and Boston has got luxury with the outfielders. That's what San Diego's looking for, is an outfielder and one more infielder. Put two guys together and get Cease, and then look at Boston's pitching staff.
If they need an infielder, get rid of Story. That's my take.
Too much.
It's not. I know they're not going to be able to do it, but it is what it is. The Red Sox hurt themselves with that contract. I knew they were going to as soon as they signed that with him. I think they signed the wrong guy. Like I said before, I thought it should have been Bogarts, but they went with Trevor Story. So it's what it is now.
There's a lot of money going down the drain there. He hasn't played.
No. In multiple years. Hall of Fame is letting out some of the results so far, and CC Sabathia's 90-something% already with the votes. Ichiro, right now he's at 100%.
Yeah, I mean, first ballot, in my opinion.
Of course he is.
Yeah, first ballot.
Well, the thing is, how some of these writers do it. Does he deserve to be on first ballot induction? The guy's great.
That's a lot.
Guy was an absolutely amazing player.
And not only did he do it here in Japan, you put them together.
Yeah.
One of the best hitters in the world.
100%.
Yeah, and those guys that say he shouldn't be on every. Why not? If your guy's good enough, you put him in there.
He was more than good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should
Not
be.
only with his hitting, but he was a great defensive outfielder as
Oh.
well. Covered a lot of ground out there. He had a stronger arm than what his build looked like, and
He was
would
so
throw
strong. Did
people
you
out.
guys ever see Ichiro in batting practice?
Oh, he could hit.
He could
the
hit a
long
home
ball.
run anytime he wanted to. It was crazy.
Mhm.
But he was the consummate team player. I'm going to get on base. I'm going to set stuff up. I'm going to steal. I'm going to play defense. And I'm not going to bitch about anyone. And he did that wherever he played.
Yeah, one of my favorite players to watch growing up. I caught like the second half of his career, but it was such an amazing player.
Yeah,
And back to CC Sabathia, I think he should definitely get in as well. The career that he had, he pitched extremely well throughout his career in two places, both with the now Guardians, was the Indians before,
Oh,
but now with the Yankees as well. He helped them win
I'll
some
tell you
games
what. When
too.
he was with the Brewers, he had.
That's right. I
he had
forgot
good
about the
times.
Brewers.
That's a guy that took the ball.
Yep.
Oh, every
all the
time.
time.
Just give it to me.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I can't pitch to him.
Right.
Yep.
For that still amazes me. I can see intentionally walking someone, doing it unintentionally, but how could supposedly the best pitcher in the American League and Cole do that? Yeah, the guy's got your
Sorry,
number.
Lou.
The guy's got your
Cover
number.
your ears, Lou.
Throw at him.
Yeah, that was kind of.
Yeah.
Well,
Get him
yeah,
off the plate.
yeah.
And that's something that I'm surprised you never saw or see really from the Yankees. When someone has got their number, they never brush him back. Why?
Well, a lot of them-
Gibson would have.
Yeah, but you're talking different era now. They don't do that now. The simple reason they don't do it is because they could be playing with that guy next year. They move around so much. Back in the
Yeah.
day when you're talking about, those guys were there to stay.
Did you ever hear the story of Gibson during the All-Star game? Didn't talk to anyone on the team. And they asked him why. I got to face him. Why am I going to talk to them? I'm not going to be their friend. I'm going to throw at them.
Well, if you talk, when Jerry Remy did a lot of the games before he passed away, he'd tell you,
Yeah.
Look at these guys out there. They're chatting with one another before. He said, we couldn't do that.
Dick Williams would
Yeah.
he'd send you back
He'd
to
call,
the minors.
he'd call you in and say, listen, we don't do that here. But now it's like a fraternity. Because like I said, they could be on the same team next year.
that they have the same agent. They go to the same parties together.
A lot of them work out together and stuff now too in the off season.
I got a chance to talk to Rick Burleson. And
The Rooster.
he's an old time school player, let me tell you. Because he used to do commercials and I used to have to go up. That was my assignment. I said, I don't know if I want to do this or not, go to Fenway Park and just sit and chat with Rick Burleson and have him do a commercial. But he was a tough guy. Every time I went up there, I see the attendant because I used to get a field pass. Rick's not in a very good mood today. I said, Rick, after the fourth.
When is he?
When is he in a good mood? He never is. So one time I went up and it was media day, where they were supposed to come up and say, hey, I'm Rick Burleson, listen to the games on WERI, whatever. And he's in the dugout sitting there by himself, and the guy was all dressed up comes over and he says, hey, Burleson, out here, let's go. Well, I can't tell you what he said to that guy, but it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't that, no, thank you, I'm not going. So he's sitting there. So I said, well, today is not the day for me to ask Burleson to do a promo for ERI. So I just was over by the batting cage and I heard somebody holler to me, and it was him. I said, who the hell knows I'm up here at Fenway Park? So he's waving to me and he says, come here. So he calls me right down in the dugout. Sits in the dugout with me and says, you got something for me to do today? You want me to do a promo for you? I said, yeah, I'd be more than happy to have you do it. I didn't know you were doing them today. I'll do it for you, he says. But I don't like a lot of these Boston press guys. He says they run me out of town.
So now we can say Lou and Burleson, a Yankee and a Red Sox, same thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it.
That's what he was. He was a tough player, though. Let me tell you, he played short when Remy played.
Yep. That was the worst thing Boston ever did, was not re-signing him.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean,
and
in
he
his
told
prime.
me, by the way, he did tell me.
I mean, I think that trading Babe Ruth had some repercussions for
Yeah.
a few years.
well,
But I
agree with
knew
that sentiment.
I knew that Burleson wasn't coming back before everybody else. He told me, I'm going to tell you right now, he says, that I'm not coming back next year.
I'm done.
Yeah.
He said, because they don't want me here. And they're not going to offer me what I think I'm worth. And sure enough, he got sent out.
You gotta imagine some of the great players Boston got rid of for nothing. Not just Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
But some of the pitchers that they had. Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Let's go. I hear that we have our special guest
We
in
do.
the waiting room. So
Yes.
let's go to our quick break right now, and we'll be back at 9. First of all, I'll take care of this so that it's not so we don't have to expand it longer, but and give you guys a break for a minute. Toscano's Men's Shop in downtown Westerly. Go see Paulie at Toscano's. Tell him Ken sent you. Go see Filippo Marcioni at Maya Whaling City in New London. Hilltop Cafe, Pods Pizza, some of the best pizza around. Great atmosphere. You can call them and order your food to go, 401-596-9299, or stop down and see them at 23 Canal Street. Pat's Auto Center, the best, fairest, I mean, you're not going to get better service for your vehicle at a more fair price than Pat's Auto Center. Just the best in the business around. And of course, also shout out to our friends at Woodmansey Insurance, who we're going to hear from right now. We'll be, go ahead.
I have one more that I have to mention this morning because we have we're going to go out to eat, and it was compliments of Mid-State Heating and Cooling.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to mention them this morning. Thank you, Dan and Jen. Sent me a little something to take the squad, the team out. So that's what I'm going to do. So
All right. Well, thank you very much to Mid-State Heating and Cooling. We'll be right back in a few minutes with Coach Brent Fazzaro.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodmansey Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodmansey Insurance. Come put the Woodmansey Insurance team to work for you.
Do you want to get your business in front of over 100,000 viewers every month? Advertise with 321 and enjoy the best value in local advertising while supporting free community live streams. Your message will be seen across live high school sports, morning shows, and local events, connecting you directly with engaged audiences, boosting your visibility, growing your brand, and helping us keep these broadcasts accessible to everyone for free. Partner with 321 today and watch your business thrive.
Hi, I'm Neil Anthus, owner of Sound Financial Partners. We're a full-service financial planning practice dedicated to optimizing your investment, tax, and cash flow strategies. As fiduciaries, we always keep our advisory clients' best interests in mind when making recommendations. Whether you're preparing for retirement or growing your business, we're here to help you achieve your financial goals. Ready to start your journey to financial success? Visit us at our Wesley office or give us a call at 401-642-4333.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
Hot summers and cold winters can be unbearable, but D&V Mechanical has the solution for you. As a Mitsubishi Diamond dealer, we provide energy-efficient and personalized comfort solutions for your home. Our experienced technicians will install your new system quickly and efficiently, ensuring your complete satisfaction. Don't suffer through another season of discomfort. Contact D&V Mechanical today for a personalized ductless mini-split installation that fits your lifestyle. D&V Mechanical, your comfort is our top priority.
Hi, I'm Chris Kozłowski, owner of Broadview Florist and Garden Center in Dunn's Corners. For over 40 years, our family-owned business has been your go-to destination for beautiful, custom-made floral arrangements. Whether it's a special event or just to brighten up your day, we create highest quality designs tailored just for you. Trust Broadview Florists to make every moment unforgettable. Visit us today or give us a call at 401-322-0390.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
I am Jim Howe. My practice is focused on representing people injured in car accidents, representing people injured in premises liability, represent people in all walks of life. I say all the time that I represent the underdog, and by the underdog I mean the person who is injured and is facing lawyers that are hired by insurance companies. If you unfortunately find yourself injured in an automobile collision or in any other circumstance where insurance may come into play, think of giving me a call.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop into Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
Hold that thought, Bill. We're back. You know when someone says not for anything, and then we're about to come back from commercial, I have to stop them from whatever they're about to say on mic. Ken, welcome us back.
All right, we're back on Sports Open Mic. I'm Ken, Bill, Dan. Lou is under the weather, not with us this morning, and now we have the Westerly basketball coach, Brent Pizarro. With us this morning. We'll talk a little high school basketball right now. Now, you guys haven't played since the tournament, correct?
Correct.
I know a lot of teams were played last night, but
yeah, I mean, just the way the schedule happened, we had yesterday off. I mean, I think the schedule is, for us at least, it's a little bit hectic because of the way we had to do the scheduling, where we were a 50% school where we scheduled 50% of our games on our own. And we actually we have a back-to-back this week where we play Johnston on Tuesday and Lincoln on Wednesday. So it just so happened it's that way. I think in a perfect world, it would have been easier to stretch that out and play on Friday. We just weren't able to make that happen with the teams that we were able to, schedule with. So, but we're going to do the best we can playing a back-to-back. We've been getting ready for Johnston. So, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. See, I don't understand a lot of those things, and we get into this almost every week.
Powers to be,
and the powers to be have not contacted me yet about it. But to me, you're playing the tournament, and then now you got 2 games coming up this week, and they got to be back to back. The good old days, you played Tuesday and Friday, and you practice the rest of the days. And to me, that worked out pretty good. But
yeah,
and then you even get games where you got to play 3 games in a week, right?
Well, that's actually scheduled. There are some 3-game weeks. I don't know, Dan, if you have any 3-game weeks.
We got one next week.
Yeah. So I mean,
Dan, I think you got to turn that mic on.
And that's
no. Is it on? All right, go ahead. Go now.
Hello.
Talk now.
Hello.
All right, cool.
Yes, we have 3 next week. 3 home games.
And that was, I mean, and some of those are like scheduled.
Back to back too.
You guys actually
Back-to-back home games.
Tuesday, Wednesday, I think you guys are back to back the same nights.
Yep.
Because when I was looking at the schedule last night I was saying the schedule during the Stonington game, and I was like, Wednesday we have Charahoe girls and Westerly boys, and then Tuesday we have Westerly girls or Westerly boys and Charahoe girls, and on Wednesday we have Charahoe girls and Westerly boys. I was like, Dave, is this right? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's so. I mean, it is a challenge. I think to play back to back is a challenge for the players. We have already done it once, and the previous coach, so we played East Greenwich and won, and then played a really tough Coventry team and lost. And the EG coach contacted me right after. He goes, "Man, why'd you guys play a back to back?" He goes, "You guys were tough against us," and he said, I watched the game, and I said, it is what it is. I mean, and we're also dealing with kids that have played AAU and they play multiple games in a day. So playing a back-to-back shouldn't be as hard as we think it is, but I know that it is difficult.
Yeah,
so.
But playing back-to-back, you have your scouting reports and you're doing your game prep, and you got to do it for two teams now instead of just concentrating on one team. That kind of
that was going to be my question to you. How do you kind of, I know I kind of have my method as a coach, but how do you kind of manage that as a coach? Do you take it one game at a time, or do you introduce the two teams? Say you play Tuesday, Wednesday. Do you go Monday over both, or do you just take it one game at a time?
Thank you for asking that, because that's been on my mind, and actually that's something that I think. And I think of when I played for you, like how you did all the scouting, and I was just kind of a token football player. I just wanted to play my junior and senior year. So I got to run Coach Samaggio's plays quite a bit as a junior and senior, like running scout team plays, which I actually had fun doing it because probably the most reps I got. But anyway, I really last year was focused game by game. I put that focus out there to the boys this year, like we are game by game. But I did jump ahead, and I like last night I started scouting for West Warwick, because they were on live, and I was like, all right, I'm going to watch the game and I'm going to start scouting for them. So I started my scouting report on those guys. I started my scouting report on Lincoln, but I'm not. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to introduce Lincoln to the kids, because we're practicing tomorrow night and Monday to get ready for Johnston, and I keep just stressing that Johnston's a huge game for us. So there's not much footage on Lincoln, which I'll talk about maybe another time with you guys, because that's another pet peeve of mine, where we have this luxury of, like, we have NFHS, and there's just, let me just say this, there are certain schools that it just disappears. And as a coaches association, like we have a great president, Rich Grenier, who's the coach of Tollgate basketball. He's coached a ton of basketball. He's coached soccer. He's coached baseball. I mean, he is your prototypical teacher / coach. And, when these schools take it down, it makes it harder. We all are going to do our due diligence, but it is what it is. And so I was lucky to talk to a few coaches that I know that they gave me as much info as they could on Lincoln, but I haven't seen their footage yet. So they are playing Monday night. So I'm going to have to watch Monday night, put a scouting report together. We're going to attack it similar to how we did SK. So, but it is a tricky thing. So playing back to back, we're really going to go all in on Johnston and then kind of turn the discussion to Lincoln, like shortly after.
I can understand, because like in football for me, or when I coach baseball, you can look as a coach down the road. You got to get those kids not looking down the road.
Exactly.
You got to get them looking at one focus, but playing back to back. In football, we got the luxury. We only play once a week.
Yeah.
So we get to practice all week. Now, during your practice, there's some things you got to do anyways, but you get rid of A. Then all of a sudden, we got to get ready for B, but I think A is more important. That's a balance that in basketball it's got to be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. And for an example, the two teams who are playing, Johnston is big. They come off the bench with a lot of length. They don't have the shooters like Lincoln's got knockdown shooters. They bring back a couple guys from a state championship Division II team last year. They lost their two best players, two guys that scored 1,400 points. And then They have a kid, Josh Bergeron, who tore his ACL at the beginning of the season. You'd think they're down, but they're not. They're loaded. So it's a completely different team from Johnston.
Different styles.
So I'm really hesitant to look ahead. Like I just want to really focus on Johnston and then just kind of switch gears as soon as that game's over and say, hey, this is how we're going to attack Lincoln and try to trick them and do some things in practice but not talk about them.
But you don't have the luxury of like a lot of colleges or the pros where you have a shoot around the day of the game where you can do some stuff. You got to get on a bus and you got to go.
Yeah.
Which kind of hurts you too.
Right. And that's the luxury of the holiday tournament because we were able to have like shoot arounds and, we watched film. So I just, when I went to school this week, Thursday, Friday, I said, man, I was a full-time basketball coach for about 10 days. And now I'm, back to, how it really is in real life,
the real world,
but yeah, no, so it's going to be tricky. But again, I think what I've learned as a coach is to be able to, I struggled with it last year. I would like stay up late and like put my scouting report after. I wouldn't go ahead. Now I'm trying to go ahead a lot more this year to kind of get myself a little bit more prepared so that I can worry about the little details when we go into practice.
Yeah, it's you can scout someone down the road and build up more and more information. But sometimes that kind of hurts you too because they've changed. And for me, I think I would rather play two teams that were similar back to back than two teams, like you said, are completely different.
Yeah. And these guys are so.
Yeah, that would make it a lot easier because you're playing the same kind of team. But it's got to be tough going back to back like that. And I think that's the only thing you can really do is concentrate. We got to win Tuesday night. Don't worry about Wednesday when it gets here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else you can do.
No. Yeah. I mean, that's how we're going to go about it. And we'll see how that goes. And
now playing back to back, is it going to change your game philosophy a little, knowing that you're playing back to back days? Do I rest the kid a little more than I would normally?
I think we're in a situation.
Get more guys involved.
We play a lot of guys anyway, and that's kind of like a strategy that I want because we have a lot of capable guys in all honesty, like our 1 through 8, there's not much separation between those guys. We have guys that we do have Lucas Pennell, who's a 17-point scorer right now. But then we have guys that do different things where, a guy like Tyler Brayman's like 10 points a game, but he's leading us in rebounds at like, he's only like, I listed him at 6'1" in the holiday tournament.
Yeah, he's not 6'1".
Right. but he's 5'10", but he's our leading rebounder right now. And he does a lot of different things. And he also pushes the ball with his dribble after he gets the rebound, which is something that gets us going. So, I play a lot of guys and we're real banged up right now. And we just went through, I don't know how you guys are feeling, but the sickness kind of hit us. And there's been multiple guys. We've had pneumonia, we've had COVID, we've had the stomach bug. We've had a kid who got his wisdom teeth out. Still Caleb Williams is nursing a sprained ankle. He's starting to look like about 90% right now. So we're really banged up. So we're probably, to answer your question, going to use a lot of guys in 2 days.
Yeah, we're in the same boat over with the Chariho girls as well. We've had a few girls. One got the flu. One had a migraine yesterday. Brianna DiGiacomo has been nursing her ankle for about a week or two now. One of our main players, one of our better shooters, and one of our better post players. So, but I always tell the team too, like I'm sure you do, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And that's why I make sure, try to tell all the girls, like, you never know when your opportunity is going to come, and it's going to be someone different every single night. And in your case, it has been kind of someone different every single night. It was great to see Caleb Williams back out there in the holiday tournament. I thought he looked pretty good for being first time back out there. Another player who impressed me during the tournament was Mo Dunn. Kind of talk about what he does for your team, and not only on the court, but as far as leadership as well, because he's a senior, correct?
Yeah. We did a process for, picking captains, and we like I gave them a questionnaire, and we watched them all week, and then we had the kids vote. We just pulled the kids into the locker room. We were like, do not talk. If you're talking, you're gonna run, and write 2 names on a piece of paper who you think who would want to be leaders on this team. And he was the unanimous winner as far as the vote goes. So when we brought him in to tell him he was captain, we told him that, like, the kids love you. You have a lot of respect for him, everybody. Right now, Mo is really focused on trying to be our best defender. And that's his main focus. He wants the best player on the other team. Yesterday at practice, it was when you have your practices, you're struggling.
Yep.
There's low energy. You don't know why. Mo was the voice that I heard, and I just stopped practice. I said, if we don't get where Mo's at, we're gonna have problems. Like, he's talking through every drill. He's a communicator out there on defense, and so that's what he's really been focused on. And we just got to work on like offensive stuff, like finishing and getting like easy buckets. I think that's been a struggle for us as a team. But Mo brings it on the defensive end for sure.
That's a luxury too, to have somebody on the court sort of helping you,
Yeah,
to get them. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And by the way, getting back to Bremen, why he's leading in rebounds, because you had him at 6'1".
Yeah.
That must have given him a little bit more confidence to go down in there.
You don't care how tall you are. You use your body right, you're going to get the rebounds.
You know how you fill out those forms for the holiday tournament? Well, when I hit send, I erased everything, right? And now the deadline was like passed.
Yep.
And I had come home, and I'm like, I got to go to practice. So here's my wife making stuff for, holiday dinners and all that stuff. So luckily someone had come over, one of our friends that had come over to visit for the holiday. I'm not gonna be, so I left my roster, and I said, can you just plug it in and send an email? Like I'm driving to practice. So they texted me, and they said, my wife was annoyed. She was like, how, you're lying. Why are you such a liar? What are you talking about? They go like, Caleb's not 6'5". Landon Husser's not 6'4".
Yeah, I try to give my team a little bit, an inch or two,
I go, when they read that paper, they're going to see how tall we are. Yeah. Intimidation right there.
Exactly.
So I go, yes. Did I lie? Yes. I don't care.
You just stretch the truth a
little bit.
The way to do it is, I think the way I do kids, when we're doing it for our tabloid, it's what's your height and weight? I don't care if it's true. You tell me what you want.
Yep. So I stretched the truth on the heights a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. Nothing wrong with that. And speaking of the tournament, went well again. We had a big turnout for, and that's got to help your team too, playing before the crowds like that.
I think it does. When you play in that atmosphere, it's loud. And we talked about that at practice, how you have to talk on defense. It's, I keep yelling at practice. There's 1,000 people going to be in here. Like, and the bleachers are down. So like, we kind of know what's coming up, that we're going to be playing the tournament. So it's just kind of like the way we have to practice. But yeah, no, it gives you that playoff feel. And, it just gets you ready for a pressure situation. And, we played well. It wasn't a super close game like it was the previous year with Stonington. But we were in the game the whole time with SK. SK is really good. And they have some good, 3 really good players that could put it in. And we tried a lot of things defensively, and then it was just, when like you said, I looked at our film in the fourth quarter, they hit shots and we didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it came down to that. I wanted to blame a million things, but I was like, man, we did get some open shots. Yeah, they got some tough contested shots, and they made theirs and we didn't. And once they went up 9, we didn't have enough to come back.
Yeah, I noticed throughout the game, coming out of halftime, they made a defensive adjustment. They went to that 3-2 zone, tried to pack it in on you guys a little bit, because you guys were getting to the rim very well in the first half. Pinnell was getting to the rim. Dunn was here and there. Bremen, and then Williams on the inside was doing a good job. And I saw your team, struggling from the outside a little bit. Was the message during those timeouts like, hey, guys, we're getting pretty good looks. You got to keep shooting it? Or was it to try to, get the ball inside a little bit more, maybe hit some free throw line jump shots, attack from there, then get kickouts?
We were trying to, the second part of what you said, like really just trying to get into the gaps. The outside, we started to live by the 3 a little bit. Come to find out, Braden Antach, who played a fantastic game, was one of the guys that was sick the whole night. Like when he went home and played great, like you would have never known it, but it's the kind of kid he is. He's just a tough kid. And he's like when Lucas and I talk, you know, we're like, he's a basketball player. Like he's a hooper. He's a guy that like loves basketball. And he never said a word. And I had no idea that he was sick. But he had moments where he was hitting shots. He kind of hit a little cold spell when they hit a hot spell and then Easton French too. We couldn't get Easton going on some shots. But we tried to get inside and it was difficult. The zone definitely helped them. And, you know, it's just what we worked on in practice, like against the zone, trying to, you know, work on getting it to the short corner, getting our guys to drop where they should. And I really didn't think it was going to give us a problem. When we hit that first 3 and we went up 4. I mean, I can't even say what I was screaming on the court because I thought that we were like, there's no way they're going to be able to stay zone on us. We can hit shots. Yeah. And I have a lot of confidence in them to hit shots. So we just went cold for a little stretch, and that's what did it for them.
All right, I'm going to play Ken Collins right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, boy. I'm going to talk to a high school coach.
Ben, turn them off.
The season. If you had the opportunity to make the season back the way it was, 2 games a week, longer, stretch it out, and not worry about a state tournament, just have your class tournament. Instead of the state tournament, you just let all your class champions play for a state title. Would that be better than jamming everything up, playing so many games, and getting done before Valentine's Day?
It's a tough question. I was listening to like what you had a really good conversation
How
last
would it
week.
be?
I'm so not focused on the state tournament. So you make a great point of jamming everything up. Like I wish it was spread out a little bit. I wish we had a little bit more time. It's an awful way to end your season right before the holiday vacation.
Yeah.
Like I just think of like for coaches, for players, like no one really knows like, oh, that's like school vacation. Like there are parents that I've gotten when I was a JV coach, a lot of messages about like, when is the season over? Because we'd like to go on vacation, but our life is on hold because of basketball. And I get that, but I wish that it wasn't as jammed up. I feel like there could be some fine tuning to the whole process. To answer your question.
Yeah, because back when I played, your league did not start until after Christmas. All your non-league games were in December. And you didn't have to worry about, you know, I'm playing 3 games this week. I'm doing this. We got to get to the Ryan Center by this date. You just took your time. You got to practice. The kids got into a flow. And we were used to playing Tuesday and Friday. Not, well, this week we're playing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Next week we're playing Tuesday, Wednesday. And we don't come back for another week. And the state tournament only really affects so many teams. So why does everyone else have to worry about that?
I mean, I think we got 3 guys that would elect you to be the guy that could run that for the state of Rhode Island for the Interscholastic League.
They don't want me.
He could be the powers to be.
No, I agree with you. I like the uniformity of the Tuesday, Friday. I think that would be beneficial for everyone. Obviously, like there's going to be some gym conflicts. You know, you do have wrestling, you do have girls basketball, you do have other things that might.
But a lot of those other schools had to. But you knew your gym was basketball on Tuesday, Friday. So wrestling had Monday and Thursday. You know, the other sports had a Wednesday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So they all had 2 days in the gym. All right. The old stuff used to work.
Yeah.
Right, Ken?
Oh, you're not. Yeah, absolutely. I thought.
Thank God I played a good game.
Yeah, you did.
No, I really do. I said that all along. And to me, it was if it's not broke, don't fix it. I mean,
there's a lot of things that don't make sense. That's what I got of what you guys talked about last week. there's, you know what, and you guys had a good conversation. And I said to Dan, I go, like, it seemed like you guys are arguing, but at one point it seemed like you guys are arguing about different points. But like you guys make perfect sense as far as, you know, when you look at like who's D1 and who's D2 and who's D3, and then you look at different schools and you're like, wait a minute, you're a D3 in this sport, but you're D1 in this sport. And then when you talk about football, it's like you hit it on the head. I mean, the reality is nobody wants to play the LaSalles and the Hendrickens, and you gotta populate their division somehow. And it's, you know, why are there 4 state champions? You know, why does basketball do the open tournament and no one else does the open tournament? For 1 year, there was boys basketball did open tournament and girls didn't do it. I think we have too much choice with our independent, like smaller organizations. I mean, Coaches Association, really all it is a glorified opinion. Interscholastic League's going to do what they want.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is it's an ongoing conversation. The one good thing that, well, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, we just went to this RPI system. I hope they see it through. Like, I hope that next year, I'd be really disappointed in Interscholastic League if they said, hey, we're going to scrap it. We're going to do something
I don't
different.
think they can scrap it for next year.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be a
2-year.
2-year. I think they have to tweak it. Because our RPI is not like Massachusetts or Connecticut.
Right. I actually like the way Connecticut
Yeah.
does everything. And again, I say that where, like, you know, you have
Go back to regionals.
You have an opportunity to look at how a you know, a state does it, and it's not that far away from us. In regional, I like, but then there'll be some that'll say, oh, well, if you look at your region, it won't be competitive.
Yeah, well, because you're going to be playing the same teams year after year after year.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then there's also a bus problem in the state of Rhode Island. So, like,
Huge.
you know how hard it is. I mean, to get to Barrington and East Providence. I mean, you guys got to go through the same thing.
Yep.
We left at 3:30 for a 6:00 game at Mount Hope, and got there 15 minutes before game time.
Yeah,
That's because you were giving the bus driver
No.
directions.
No,
Took the scenic route.
we knew what happened there.
yeah, it's great. Even went to Providence one day. We left for a 5:00 game. We left at 3:30 to go to City Stadium, one of your favorite stadiums.
It is, yes.
And we got there 15 minutes before game time because of the traffic. Go back to the old regions.
Yep.
You don't have that problem.
I agree. I'm right there with you. Listen, you're a flat tire near the Thurbers Avenue curve of being an hour late to your game.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing you can do to combat that. I mean, it is what it is, you know. And then forget it. If you're going to East Providence, you're going to go over the bridge. You know, I mean, that's another half hour.
Is there still a bridge there?
Yeah,
No,
but they only had like
kidding.
one lane or something like that. 'Cause
Technically, yes.
They started construction on it and then they stopped. I don't know. I didn't follow the whole thing. I know it's just a pain to get over it.
I had the opportunity to do the pro game. The question I wanted to ask you.
Why you beat up on Dean? No.
No, I beat up on him before the game. But I wouldn't have wanted to. I would have loved to have been in the locker room at halftime of that game, because that first half of that game and the second half was altogether different.
Yeah.
And I mentioned to Greg, I said, I don't know if I'd want to be in that locker room right now, because the way you come out in the second half was altogether different.
So of course I love to go back, and I watch so much film, and I like to listen to you guys and watch it too. I'll watch it on NFHS or Huddle, how we have it, but I'll go back and, you know, love to see the different angle and hear you guys. I mean, we questioned their toughness, and we questioned, like, what are you guys doing out there? Like, why are we not on guys when we went over a scouting report? Like in the first 2 minutes of the game, and I could say it, we're not going to play them. And I think Prout is a great team, great D3 team. I have a ton of respect for Dean as a coach.
Yeah.
But one of their plays was, you know, I go, you have to be careful with Lawson O'Hearn and Charlie Horn. When he dribble hands off, I go, Horn's an old school, like, jump shooter. All he wants to do is get 17 to 19 feet, and he's going to hit shots. And we talked about high switching the dribble handoff. And the first time he did it, he hit a wide open 3 in the corner. And we called a 30-second timeout and like really laid into them about why we're not paying attention to that. And then at halftime, we're like, what are you guys doing? I mean, defensively, we look terrible.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like me screaming and yelling. It was just me talking to them saying, if we don't get any better, we're going to lose to a Division III team.
Mhm.
And that maybe is what did it, because we played them a lot. And, you know, again, not that I hate to say it this way, but when you're a Division I team and you're playing a Division III team,
You're expected.
you expect it, you know, and the kids know that, like they know
Yeah.
that. So
Mhm.
like when we challenged them, and I said, if you continue that, we're going to lose this game.
I think,
And it was a different outcome.
yeah, and I agree with that. You know, you go in there and scream and yell, but I think that was the right message. That's why I asked you that question. Because that's what it is. What are we doing?
Yeah.
We shouldn't be in this situation.
And I mean, and it took me, you know, to flip out about a couple calls, and then it got the crowd into it, and then we just started rolling from there. I mean, there was one call I lost it, and I couldn't believe I didn't get technical.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Yeah,
He knows exactly what you were talking about.
I was hoping you would, because yeah, that was an interesting moment. You know, my wife does the book, and she was like, calm down. I could hear her whispering to me, calm down.
No, that's
I rule the roost here.
No, that's
You may do it somewhere else.
that's the powers to be.
I told her, I said, I wished him a Merry Christmas. And then when he asked me to come over again, I said, hey, I forgot to tell you. And when I went back out there, I said, Happy New Year.
There you go.
That's what I said. I go, so I just wanted to make sure you heard me. That's all.
Are you sticking around to the end?
The end of
the program?
I can. Yeah.
All right, because we got to take a break because we got to take care of some business. We can do that, and then we'll come back and talk more with the coach.
Absolutely. And once again, we want to say thank you to Toscano's Men's Shop. I mean, I think they've been there since the dawn of time,
Yeah.
downtown Westerly.
He said that he had to close the day they had the first football game, Thanksgiving Day.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. My Whaling City in New London. Go see Filippo Marcioni. Hilltop Cafe over at 23 Canal Street. Pod's Pizza. Some of the best pizza anywhere in town. Pat's Auto Center, the most reliable auto place in the area by far. Go see Pat, 17 Ledward Avenue, and Woodmansey Insurance. We'll be right back in just a minute.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodmansey Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodmansey Insurance. Come put the Woodmansey Insurance team to work for you.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
I am Jim Howe. My practice is focused on representing people injured in car accidents, representing people injured in premises liability, represent people in all walks of life. I say all the time that I represent the underdog, and by the underdog, I mean the person who is injured and is facing lawyers that are hired by insurance companies. If you unfortunately find yourself injured in an automobile collision or in any other circumstance where insurance may come into play, think of giving me a call.
Hi, I'm Chris Kozłowski, owner of Broadview Florist and Garden Center in Duns Corners. For over 40 years, our family-owned business has been your go-to destination for beautiful, custom-made floral arrangements. Whether it's a special event or just to brighten up your day, we create highest quality designs tailored just for you. Trust Broadview Florists to make every moment unforgettable. Visit us today or give us a call at 401-322-0390.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop in to Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
Hi, I'm AJ Truck.
And I'm Jeff Swiderski with AnnieMac Home Mortgage's Momentum Group, your trusted partner in the home buying process.
At AnnieMac, we can strengthen your offer with our innovative program, Cash to Keys, giving you a competitive edge by allowing you to make a cash offer on your new home.
Together, we've helped over 1,000 families move into their dream homes, and we'd love to do the same for you.
Give us a call today at 401-486-0853 to get started.
What's going on, guys? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Duns Corners, and I have the deal that's going to make you flip out. So, you take your smashed iPhone, you get that new phone for free down here at the Wireless Zone. We're also going to be giving you the latest brand new Apple Series 10 watch and the newest iPad for free. All happening down here at the Wireless Zone at 224 Post Road, Duns Corners. We'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Neil Anthus, owner of Sound Financial Partners. We're a full-service financial planning practice dedicated to optimizing your investment, tax, and cash flow strategies. As fiduciaries, we always keep our advisory clients' best interests in mind when making recommendations. Whether you're preparing for retirement or growing your business, we're here to help you achieve your financial goals. Ready to start your journey to financial success? Visit us at our Wesley office or give us a call at 401-642-4333.
Hot summers and cold winters can be unbearable, but DNV Mechanical has the solution for you. As a Mitsubishi Diamond dealer, we provide energy-efficient and personalized comfort solutions for your home. Our experienced technicians will install your new system quickly and efficiently, ensuring your complete satisfaction. Don't suffer through another season of discomfort. Contact DNV Mechanical today for a personalized ductless mini-split installation that fits your lifestyle. DNV Mechanical, your comfort is our top priority.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
Back on Sports Open Mic. Ken, Dan, Bill. Lou's under the weather, so he'll hopefully be back with us next week on Sports Open Mic. And we have the Westerly Boys basketball coach, Brent Fazzaro, with us. Obviously talking about basketball. So I know somebody's got questions, and
All right.
and the other guys are going to have answers.
You're both basketball coaches. Last night I was at the Jarrow Moses Brown game. Moses Brown, I think they were a great team.
Yeah.
I mean, athletically.
That's a hot take, Bill. That they're a great team.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right, Ben.
That's right. That's something Lou would say, so you're kind of filling that void.
There we go. There we go.
They do everything. They spurted out a big lead. Halftime, I mean, Yes, the game was over. You go into halftime. Both sides, what do you say at halftime when the game was settled way earlier than halftime? You go into the locker room. Now you're on the losing side.
Warm up the bus.
What would you say, or how would you go into halftime talking to your team?
You can go first.
Okay. Losing side first.
Yes.
I mean, I think you throw out what is on the scoreboard. You play with pride. You don't worry about who is in the game. You just, it's next play mentality and just focus on
winning the
quarter, getting better and playing better than what you did in the first half. You throw the first half out and it looks like that's kind of what Corey said, because that's definitely what it seemed like happening.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like they played much better. Because at that point, you're down. I mean, I think it was 50.
Yeah.
It was over 50.
But you can't go nuts.
No,
You really
That's the
can't.
last thing you can do as
Right.
a coach.
No, because you're the kids. I mean, you're losing by 50 at halftime. Their confidence can't be high, but it's you got to build them back up. You got to figure a way to build them back up and get out there for the second half. And I felt like they did that. I was watching West Warwick at the time, and Russ had texted me. He's like, "You got to see this game," and I put it on. And so at that point, I thought Chariho fought hard and played a lot better in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I would echo a lot of those same sentiments, and I would just tell my team, listen, this is a really good basketball team we're playing. This is one of the best basketball teams in the state. Yes, we're a little outsized. They're very athletic, but this is only going to make us better moving forward for the rest of our competition, and you guys cannot back down from these guys whatsoever. At points in the first quarter, it seemed like they were kind of just backing down from them because of their size, speed, and athleticism. But give, Coach Downey credit. He came out and at halftime, and the Chargers were playing a lot more aggressive basketball, a lot more confident basketball. And that's the message. You could, like Coach Fazzar said, you can't beat them up about it because, Moses Brown had a lot of really talented players, and you could just see, just watching the game, they were just outsized, and Moses Brown is a really athletic team.
Now you're on the other side. You're in the other locker room. You don't want to say the game's over. You want to talk to your player, even though they know they're not going to be playing a lot. Do you just go in, we play our game, and then you pull when you want to, or do you pull them earlier?
I thought Moses Brown played it exactly the way they should have last night.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
he left them in the first 4 minutes, and, they were still playing aggressive. They did what they had to do because you don't want any of those guys to get into any bad habits, right? Kind of jogging up and down the floor or just chucking up shots that they wouldn't. They did a good job coming out of that halftime, still putting pressure on, still shooting their shots, attacking the rim. And then Moses Brown coach did the right thing. He pulled his starters and then got those bench players a lot of playing time, and they were playing just as hard out there.
Yeah.
So it only going to help, the complete team moving forward. And Moses Brown did a very good job of that last night. Yeah.
And I think if you are in that position, which we both would wish we were there a lot. I think you find like small teaching points. I remember being on the opposite end of it, but when I had some bench guys in, there was when we, last year, I remember running an inbound play, and it was a guy that didn't play a whole lot. And I remember pulling him aside, and I'm like, this is a spot for you right now. Like
to work
at it. And like, when you're looking at me on an inbound play that you've run before and you don't know it, like, so that's just a teachable moment. You know what I mean? Like, so where I was like, how do you not know this at this point? Like, we're still playing. We still got to run our stuff. We still got to execute. It doesn't help you if you're out there and you don't know it.
No.
So, I mean, that was just a small teaching point that I was able to grab with one guy.
Yeah. Now, the thing that came to mind with me is I had been talking with someone about a former high school basketball coach, Federico. And what I had heard from him when he was in that kind of situation, when he was up, this is where you will learn your offense. I want to have X amount of passes before we shoot. So you work on your techniques instead of worrying about, but does that change your game style? Because their games last night, Moses Brown was push, 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 push. Do you just run your offense, perfect for down the road?
I mean, I'm not questioning Coach Federico for
No,
sure.
no,
So
no, but
that's what he wants to do, man. It's fine with me.
No, yeah, but
I agree.
You work on the little things, even though you don't have to against a team.
Yeah.
And that night, just do what you do and do it well.
Yeah.
But also,
and that takes time off.
yeah. Particularly, you know, for those first 4 minutes of the third quarter, yes, it would be great if those starters were able to, you know, kind of run through their offense and do all that. But you want to stress to those bench guys when they come into the game, like, hey, this is an opportunity for you, right? You got a chance to play, you know, maybe earn yourself a little bit more playing time based on how you play, because you never know what's going to happen throughout the season. And it just builds more experience for your players moving forward. They're not only this year, but for the rest of the program, because most of them are probably younger guys. And any time that they can get in that varsity setting, albeit in a blowout, they're still playing against varsity caliber players. So it's only going to help the whole team moving forward. And you got to make sure those players are playing just as hard as the starters did out there.
Brett, did you have a question? Oh,
Well, I was just going to say on this topic still, Coach Fazzaro, I remember last year calling, and I'm sorry to bring up old wounds. I think it was the Bishop Hendricken game where it was a blowout in the way that this is. And I remember I think it was that game specifically, the second half, I don't know what you said at halftime, but you guys came out and looked like a completely different team and held them, and to the point where I saw Hendricken maybe like start to lay off and then not be able to lay off. And then it became a competitive game, and I kept going at the end of the third quarter. I was like, the Bulldogs won this quarter. Like, the Bulldogs won this quarter, and if Hendricken thought that they were, you know, going to take it easy in the second half, they realized that they couldn't. And the way that you motivated and came back, it was one of those situations where, you know, the other team that is like, okay, we have this in hand, is all of a sudden like, all right, well, now our pride is, you know, like, we can't just let them come back from this and make it look, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a similar situation to how Chariho was last night. I mean, I think the score was very shocking. You know, 68 points at halftime that's a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, but I've been in situations where I haven't been that, you know, and I'm talking my whole career, like coaching middle school, coaching JV, like, you know, I remember giving up 99 points to Central one year. We actually scored 80. Wasn't a lot of defense that game, but like we were down a lot, you know, and we kept fighting back. So you try to find small victories for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even in those closer games, like our game on Thursday night, you did a great job on the broadcast, by the way.
Oh, stop. No.
Like we were down.
No idea how nerve-wracking that was, by the way, to know that your grandfather was in the audience and was like,
he was looking at it from a non-broadcast.
I was like, this is the first game, because I called all of the games last year for basketball, and I was like, "Well, this is the first game that I'm calling that I know that Ken's going to go back and listen to," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Now all of a sudden I'm self-conscious.
But yeah, we were down by 11 right in that fourth quarter, and we ended up cutting it to 4. And the message in those timeouts to the team was, "Hey, like, we can't quit." You know, because it's a game of runs. They made their run. Let's try to make a run to end this game. And I was really proud for the girls because, you know, we hit that adversity and we came back, cut it down to 4. If an out of bounds call goes a little bit of a different way towards the end of the game, you know, it is what it is. We had plenty of other chances though. Couldn't make shots either. That doesn't help. But that's that's the message. It's just always like next play, possession by possession.
It was crazy. That game specifically, the other night, something that I thought was great, because it was a slow start of the game. I think it was 5-5 at the end of the first quarter, and which is incredibly slow start. And then by the end of the second quarter, like towards the end of the first half, you guys went on a little bit of a run, right? Like a 7 or 8 point run, and all of a sudden the other team was hurrying and like making simple mistakes, and all I could think was like, this is not the time to do that. Like, this is but you could see like
Panic,
sometimes, sometimes you can see the panic in
Yeah.
a team, and I love that for both of you as coaches. You don't really see that a lot in your players, as much as I see from other teams. Whereas, obviously sometimes frustration sets in and stuff, but it's something that I see on a lot of other teams that come in and play either at Cherahoe or Westerly or Stonington, where the other team, if you get into a rhythm for a second, they start to panic. And kudos to you guys as coaches. Your players don't do that anywhere near as often.
That's a great point, and because we as broadcasters see that, when you guys call a timeout, and you see other coaches, and Ben's right. You see the other coaches sometimes they're in a panic because the other team had a 5 or 6 point swing on them. But I've noticed you two guys that you're pretty calm, even though inside you might want to say something different to yourself. But a lot of times you just get your team over there, settle them down, and I think that's the only thing you can do. You don't want to show your team that you're panicking, that's for sure. Right. Even though you might say, "Wow, we played lousy here for the last 5 minutes," but I gotta show the girls or the guys I'm behind them, and let's try to calm it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's look like what you guys do.
It's always the goal, to stay level headed and you got to have like a poker face, like it's also like relationship with your players and things like that, and how how you can communicate. It's just something that happens, and you don't really think much of it. It's just kind of like part of what you do.
But it's noticeable, though.
Yeah.
You see? That's what I have to do with Sports Open Mic team. Same thing.
Yeah.
I don't panic. We just, when we have a time, that's why we have the timeouts every half hour.
Yeah, we talk about
you got to straighten guys out when they,
Yeah, it is so.
Why are you looking at me?
It is so important, though, because you as one of the leaders, I guess you would say, on the team, although there's a lot of different leaders on the team, but your team kind of looks to you. If you start to show off bad body language, you start to use a lot of negativity more than positivity, it can really, translate to your players. And that 5-0 run out of that timeout could turn into a 13-0 run. So your message is really important, and the adjustments you make in those timeouts to try to put your team in the best possible situation to win is also important.
Did you have a question? Did you?
So I did actually for Coach Samaggio.
Oh yeah,
I actually had the privilege of being at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony when Coach got in, and I was there for one of my teammates, Damian Rabluski, who I actually got the chance to hang out with the other night. He came back to visit for a little bit, but I also had the chance to talk with Dan and interview him as a kind of like
that's
what you're doing,
yeah.
right? I mean, that was a lot of fun. I filled in when Greg was not able to be here on a Saturday. But my question for Coach Samaggio is that I don't have to say that how many years you've done this for, because you've done it for a long time. But I think anybody who has still coaches now and coached when you started, you don't have.
It's different.
And that's my question. So how do you? Because I know players have evolved into something that the kids are different today. Let's just leave it at that. So how have you evolved as a coach, coaching my era, which I'm not going to date myself. I don't want to date Coach that bad, right?
Well, remember, I had it almost 20 years before you.
I wasn't. See, I want to say that, but
you were trying to be nice.
I know.
So you had to go. You had to span decades here, and you're coaching right now, and it is a different. It's a different lifestyle that these kids kind of live. How do you adjust and adapt as a coach?
Number one is you have to adapt. You have to adjust. You have to understand what they're going through. Back when you played, or even before that, I had players that they didn't know what the media was. There was no internet at that time, so there was no hype or anything. You could just go out there and coach, and you had the backing of everyone else. It's like I can remember when I used to go home. How did you play? I did all right. All right, that was great. Now I think the kids get pressure from parents, get peer pressure. They get pressure where they see themselves all the time on the internet.
Yeah.
So
Sorry about that.
No, it's good and bad. I think
Yeah.
it is good and bad because you can see some things off there where you can spin to positive things or to change some things. I think you have to evolve over the course of the years. I had to evolve from what you said to kids, what you said to parents, what you said in group settings. There are things that I did 40 years ago that you could probably be chastised.
Right. That wouldn't
for
fly today, basically, right?
That in this day's time and I'm not just saying for me. We talked about Coach Federico, greatest basketball coach that I ever heard about.
Yeah.
There were things that he did that I couldn't do in the 80s
Mhm.
that you really couldn't do. No, not that it was bad or anything. It just how culture changes.
Yeah.
You can't do those things. You got to realize what you're saying and how you say it. You got to realize when I played, the players had no feelings. Really, no. You could say things when I played that I don't think I could say to a player now because of X, Y, and Z,
right?
Where culture has changed, and I think that's the biggest thing. You have to evolve with your teams, and like I said, there was.
Yeah, if you don't, you're not going to survive.
Yeah.
Simple.
When I played, you didn't throw the ball. They always said, well, there's only 3 things that can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But you got to. We threw the ball this year over 200 times. If you had told me back in the 80s that I had a team and I threw the ball over 200 times during the season, I would have said, you're nuts. But you got to change. Offenses, even though they're still the same name, the offenses and defenses have evolved.
Yeah.
And if you don't evolve with them, I think you're in trouble.
Oh, that's absolutely.
And-
I don't think there's any question.
And if you don't have fun and make it fun thing, not a job, because once you make it a job, then you're in trouble.
All right.
Yeah.
That was a good question. I think
That
we
was.
can learn. No, because to me, I it is very knowing that I played for you, and I know like you date before me, and I'm dating myself. I'm gonna be 50 this year. It just, to me, it's amazing because I know just looking at players, how players have changed.
Sure.
And even the game of football has changed. The game of basketball has changed. Like the 3-point line, I think, has changed the way you build your fast break, the way you build offense. I feel like this, it's an evolving thing. And I just think maybe with throwing the ball in football and high school football in this area, it's evolved. And I think you have to change with it. And I was curious to see the answer. And like I said, I have always known your history, but being at the Hall of Fame, knowing how many years you put in and how many different sports and how many kids, everybody there either played with Coach or
Sure.
he coached us. And, I think we were there with, John DeGangi was a guy that got in. Damien had gotten in.
Yeah.
Mike Contrary.
Yeah, there was three of my former players got in, and that was a special thing.
Yeah.
Having your players, and Jack Carson's brother Bruce, he went in. He was a guy that played 10 years before me, but he didn't play football, but he was a basketball player and a golfer. And we kind of said something that, how do you do it for so long? It's change.
Yeah.
And if you don't change, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, we've come to 10 o'clock. Brent, thanks for coming by. And
Yes, thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you guys having me.
anytime.
All right.
All right.
Um,
Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Good luck, Dan, this week. You got
Thank
3
you.
games. You got 2.
Yep.
Yes, Ben.
Well, I just want to congratulate you, Ken. This is our 4th show, I believe, on here, right? No. How many have we done? It's
the 4th, right?
4th, 5th?
Yes, I think
We
so.
did the last 2 weeks you were in studio. And
Mhm.
then you did one at Paulie's, and then you did the one.
Oh, so it's 5.
So 5. Okay. Every single one of them has had at least 2,000 live viewers. And of course, the last 2 weeks have gone over 5,000 in retrospect, not retrospect, in on demand. And I just got to say, congratulations, Ken, because you have
Congratulations.
just,
Well, thank you.
proven once again that you are the king of Saturday mornings.
And stop
so-
hitting that replay button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Well, it's the guys around the table too. Those are the guys that help. It's fun. We have fun to talk sports, and that's what it's all about. And you can't do it by yourself. So
Absolutely.
you guys are talking about team.
See, you
This
gotta have
is a
fun.
team.
Yep.
Gotta have
I
fun.
agree.
And
Yep.
and coming over here with Ben, we've been having fun for 5 weeks or
Yes.
whatever it is now, and looking forward to many more.
Absolutely.
On that note,
And I want to say a huge thank you to Toscano's Men's Shop, Whaling City Ford and Mazda, Hilltop Cafe, Potts Pizza, Woodman Sea Insurance, and Pat's Auto Center. And was there anything else anybody wanted to say?
Mid-State Heating and Cooling,
Mid-State
man.
Heating and Cooling.
All of your
Absolutely.
All up
heating
Dan
and
and
air
Dylan.
conditioning needs. Yes, call Mid-State Heating and Cooling. Great guys over there.
That'll do it for Sports Open Mike. For Dan and Coach Fazaro, Mr. Samaggio, Ben, now do I say my sign off is I'm Ken. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, watching. Well, I mean, watching and listening, but yeah.
I'm Ken. Thanks for watching and listening.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodman Sea Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodman Sea Insurance. Come put the Woodman Sea Insurance team to work for you.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140. Hot summers and cold winters can be unbearable, but D&V Mechanical has the solution for you. As a Mitsubishi Diamond dealer, we provide energy-efficient and personalized comfort solutions for your home. Our experienced technicians will install your new system quickly and efficiently, ensuring your complete satisfaction. Don't suffer through another season of discomfort. Contact D&V Mechanical today for a personalized ductless mini-split installation that fits your lifestyle. D&V Mechanical, your comfort is our top priority. Do you want to get your business in front of over 100,000 viewers every month? Advertise with 321 and enjoy the best value in local advertising while supporting free community live streams. Your message will be seen across live high school sports, morning shows, and local events, connecting you directly with engaged audiences, boosting your visibility, growing your brand, and helping us keep these broadcasts accessible to everyone for free. Partner with 321 today and watch your business thrive.